Very nice.
I do, yeah, a little bit.
Good.
Saw the picture sent it to them. It's very nice. They recognize it. Never seen the picture. It's got 40 different people.
It's rolling on.
Good morning and welcome to Rideau Hall. As the ceremony is about to begin, I would like to inform you that our official photographer will be taking photos, which will be shared in the coming days. Therefore, I would ask that you please refrain from taking pictures throughout the ceremony. As a reminder, please also ensure that your cell phones are set to silent mode. Thank you. Bonjour et bienvenue à Rideau Hall. Avant de commencer la cérémonie, j'aimerais vous informer que notre photographe officiel prendra des photos lors de l'événement et qu'elles vous seront partagées dans les jours à venir. Par conséquent, je vous demanderai de ne pas prendre de photos pendant la cérémonie. J'aimerais également vous rappeler d'éteindre la sonnerie de vos téléphones cellulaires. Merci. The ceremony will now begin with the entrance of the Secretary to the Governor-General, Ken McKillop, the Clerk of the Privy Council, John Hannaford, and the Assistant Clerk of the Privy Council, Wendy Nixon. La cérémonie débutera maintenant avec l'arrivée du Secrétaire de la Gouverneure générale, Ken McKillop, du greffier du Conseil privé, John Hannaford, et de la greffière adjointe du Conseil privé, Wendy Nixon.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I would now ask you to please rise if you are able for the arrival of the ministers designate, the Prime Minister and the Governor General of Canada. Bonjour, je vous remercie d'être ici aujourd'hui. Je vous demande maintenant de vous lever, si vous le pouvez, pour l'arrivée des ministres et ministres désignés, du Premier ministre et de la Gouverneure générale du Canada. Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir. Mr. John Hannaford, the Clerk of the Privy Council, will now seek the Governor General's consent to proceed. Mr. John Hannaford, greffier du Conseil privé, demandera maintenant à la Gouverneure générale la permission de procéder.
Excellence, pouvons-nous procéder? Excellency, may we proceed?
With the Governor General's approval, we will now proceed with the swearing in of members of the 29th Canadian Ministry. Maintenant que la Gouverneure générale a signifié son approbation, nous procéderons à la sermentation des membres du 29e Conseil des ministres canadiens. The ministers and minister designate who are members of the King's Privy Council for Canada will please come forward to swear the oath of office. Les ministres et les ministres désignés qui sont membres du Conseil privé du roi pour Canada sont priés de s'avancer pour prêter leur serment d'office. L'Honorable Ginette Petitpas-Taylor, President du Conseil du Trésor. The Honorable Ginette Petitpas-Taylor, President of the Treasury Board.
Je promets et jure solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de la ministre du Conseil du Trésor. I, Ginette Petitpas-Taylor, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully and to the best of my skills and knowledge execute the powers and trust reposed in me as President of the Treasury Board.
The Honorable David Joseph McGuinty, Minister of Public Safety. L'Honorable David Joseph McGuinty, Ministre de la Sécurité publique.
I, David Joseph McGuinty, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Public Safety. Moi, David Joseph McGuinty, je promets et jure solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre de la Sécurité publique.
The Honorable Indira Anita Anand, Minister of Transport and Internal Trade. L'Honorable Indira Anita Anand, Ministre des Transports et du Commerce intérieur.
I, Indira Anita Anand, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Transport and Internal Trade. Moi, Indira Anita Anand, je promets et jure solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement, fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre des Transports et du Commerce intérieur.
L'Honorable Stephen Garrett McKinnon, Ministre de l'Emploi, du Développement de main-d'œuvre et du Travail. The Honorable Stephen Garrett McKinnon, Minister of Employment, Workforce Development and Labor.
Moi, Stephen Garrett McKinnon, je promets et jure solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre de l'Emploi, du Développement de la main-d'œuvre et du Travail. I, Stephen Garrett McKinnon, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Employment, Workforce Development, and Labor.
The Honorable Gary Anand, Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs, and Minister responsible for the Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency. L'Honorable Gary Anand, Ministre de la Relation Couronne Autochtone et d'Affaires du Nord et Ministre responsable de l'Agence canadienne de développement économique du Nord.
I, Gary Anand, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs, and Minister responsible for the Canadian Northern Economic Development Agency. Moi, Gary Anand, je promets et jure solennellement et sincèrement que mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement le pouvoir et j'exécuterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre des Relations autochtones et des Affaires du Nord et ministre responsable de l'Agence canadienne de développement économique du Nord.
The Honourable Ruby Sahota, Minister of Democratic Institutions and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. L'Honorable Ruby Sahota, Ministre des Institutions démocratiques et Ministre responsable de l'Agence fédérale du développement économique pour le Sud de l'Ontario.
I, Ruby Sahota, do solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Democratic Institutions and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency of Southern Ontario.
The remaining ministers designate will please come forward to take the oath of allegiance, the Privy Councillor's oath, and the oath of office. Les ministres désignés restant priés de vous s'avancer pour prêter le serment d'allégeance, le serment des conseillers privés et le serment d'office. Rachel Bendayan, ministre des langues officielles et ministre associé de la sécurité publique. Rachel Bendayan, Minister of Official Languages and Associate Minister of Public Safety.
Moi, Rachel Bendayan, je déclare fidélité et sincère allégeance à Sa Majesté le roi Charles III, roi du Canada, à ses héritiers et successeurs. I, Rachel Bendayan, do declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. Moi, Rachel Bendayan, je déclare solennellement et sincèrement que j'agirai en fidèle et loyal serviteur de Sa Majesté le roi Charles III en ma qualité de membre du Conseil privé de Sa Majesté pour le Canada. J'exprimerai fidèlement, honnêtement et en toute vérité mon sentiment et mon opinion sur toute chose traitée, débattue et résolue en Conseil. Je tiendrai secret tout ce qui me sera confié ou révélé en cette qualité, ou tout ce dont il sera traité secrètement en Conseil. J'agirai en toutes circonstances comme il convient à une fidèle et loyale serviteur de Sa Majesté. I, Rachel Bendayan, do solemnly and sincerely declare that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III as member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I will, in all things, to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated in Council. Generally, in all things, I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. Moi, Rachel Bendayan, je promets et déclare solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre des langues officielles et ministre associé de la sécurité publique. And I, Rachel Bendayan, do solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will truly and faithfully and to the best of my skill and knowledge execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Official Languages and Associate Minister of Public Safety.
Elisabeth Bière, ministre du Revenu national. Elizabeth Brière, Minister of National Revenue.
Moi, Elisabeth Brière, je déclare fidélité et sincère allégeance à Sa Majesté, le roi Charles III, roi du Canada, à ses héritiers et successeurs. I, Elizabeth Brière, do declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. Moi, Elisabeth Brière, je déclare solennellement et sincèrement que j'agirai en fidèle et loyal serviteur de Sa Majesté, le roi Charles III, en ma qualité de membre du Conseil privé de Sa Majesté pour le Canada. J'exprimerai fidèlement, honnêtement et en toute vérité mon sentiment et mon opinion sur toute chose traitée, débattue et résolue en Conseil. Je tiendrai secret tout ce qui me sera confié ou révélé en cette qualité, ou tout ce dont il sera traité secrètement en Conseil. J'agirai en toutes circonstances comme il convient à un fidèle et loyal serviteur de Sa Majesté. I, Elizabeth Brière, do solemnly and sincerely declare that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III as a member of His Majesty Privy Council for Canada. I will, in all things, to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things, I shall do as faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. Moi, Elisabeth Brière, je promets et déclare solennellement et sincèrement qu'au mieux de ma compétence et de ma connaissance, j'exécuterai loyalement et fidèlement les pouvoirs et je m'acquitterai des responsabilités qui m'ont été confiées en qualité de ministre du Revenu national. I, Elisabeth Brière, do solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of National Revenue.
Terry Gordon Duguid, Minister of Sport and Minister responsible for Prairies Economic Development Canada. Terry Gordon Duguid, Ministre des Sports et Ministre responsable du Développement économique Canada pour les Prairies.
I, Terry Gordon Duguid, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. I, Terry Gordon Duguid, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I shall be true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III as a member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I will in all things to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things, I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. I, Terry Gordon Duguid, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Sport and Minister responsible for Prairies Economic Development Canada. Thank you. Thank you.
Nathaniel Erskine Smith, Minister of Housing, Infrastructure and Communities. Nathaniel Erskine Smith, Ministre du Logement, de l'Infrastructure et des Collectivités.
I, Nathaniel Erskine Smith, do declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. I, Nathaniel Erskine Smith, do solemnly and sincerely declare that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III as a member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I will, in all things to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things, I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. I, Nathaniel Erskine Smith, do solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Housing, Infrastructure, and Communities.
Darren Fisher, Minister of Veterans Affairs and Associate Minister of National Defense. Darren Fisher, Ministre des Anciens Combattants et Ministre associé de la Défense nationale.
I, Darren Fisher, do declare that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty, King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. I, Darren Fisher, do solemnly and sincerely declare that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty, King Charles III, as a member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I will in all things to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly treated of in council. Generally, in all things I shall do as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. I, Darren Fisher, do solemnly and sincerely promise and declare that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Veterans Affairs and Associate Minister of National Defense. Thank you very much.
Joanne Thompson, Minister of Seniors. Joanne Thompson, Ministre des Aînés.
I, Joanne Thompson, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors. I, Joanne Thompson, do solemnly and sincerely swear that I shall be a true and faithful servant to His Majesty King Charles III, as a member of His Majesty's Privy Council for Canada. I will in all things to be treated, debated, and resolved in Privy Council, faithfully, honestly, and truly declare my mind and my opinion. I shall keep secret all matters committed and revealed to me in this capacity, or that shall be secretly revealed or treated of in council. Generally and in all things, I shall do this as a faithful and true servant ought to do for His Majesty. I, Joanne Thompson, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully, and to the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as Minister of Seniors.
the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the Clerk of the Privy Council will now sign the oath books to formally witness the swearing-in of the ministers. La gouverneure générale, le Premier ministre et le greffier du Conseil privé apposeront maintenant leur signature sur les registres de serment pour attester officiellement la sermentation des ministres. Now please join me in congratulating all of the ministers. Felicitons les ministres. Thank you all for being with us today at the ceremony. Merci de votre participation à cette cérémonie ici aujourd'hui. Please rise for the departure of the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the ministers. Veuillez vous lever pour le départ de la gouverneure générale, du Premier ministre et des ministres.
Oh, it's done. They left. The PM. They went out the back. I don't know how long they'll be till they come out here. Well, you're here to the back. Yeah. Come out, hopefully.
Yeah, that's right. Did you do a group photo inside?
No, just photos first. They didn't do a group photo. No family photo. After the election, you do big family. Get out there and do it. You guys shuffle.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this is all the others.
There's only so many.
Something like that. There was some other.
This may be like. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's not.
Mind the way I park myself here? Not at all. Yeah.
I'll let everyone else share it.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a little. I got one off Amazon. It's like an age-old seal. There's so much people like you. I used to be on my, you're on my desk or something. So I got that's the kind of rolling myself around the room, getting my. So it's like that, but on wheels.
Do it around it. Yeah.
It works really well. So the plastic is even on plastic. On my knees.
We'll do a little sound check. Sound check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sound check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Vérification sonore, test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to do another way?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Sound check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is sound check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
White's good.
Brian, you want to...
Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's
Moderator
good.
Mike, check 1, 2. Good, Jim?
Question, Mike?
James, check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2. Q&A Mike, check 1, 2.
Perfect, thank you. All good?
Very good, yep, thanks.
you live or anything?
Well, it's always live, but technically, but.
Just want to get straight on for a.
Hey?
I just want to get straight on for a picture of the
I think
empty
you can't
mic.
have noise there. I don't think anybody's taking the shot right now.
You ready?
How are you? Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Hey. So I want to get out one thing.
Your cart.
Yes, yes. Would you be annoyed if I didn't? Not at all. No problem. Just be careful that you're not going to touch the arrow. Yeah, no, you will. Absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah, absolutely.
you okay?
Yeah.
You can do like a room.
Well, we're gonna share our spot, my little stool here. I think. We can all take a turn straight on.
You okay?
All good for me.
Perfect. So it might be like 4 batches of 3 at a time or something like that.
PM's gonna speak, right?
I don't think so.
You promise? No? It's gonna keep on.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
We will see.
What you should do, you should have for pool, get a drone. Like imagine just up there, a nice wide shot, you cut to the wide shot. You know you can go drone to Dejero. I did the opening, like Rogers, you know the marathon weekend, that race weekend they have? So Rogers does it, they have 20 cameras. They hired you to do the opening with the drones, Laurier and Elgin. And then, but you can hook up to the Dejero, so it's a live shot. So you can actually take it. There's something to think about. Tell me you think about it, let me know, we can talk about it. But
The thing is that somebody needs to pay for it, and I don't think the networks are. And then actually doing a live event like this, I think security would like go. So
It's true, you guys.
No.
Okay. So I apply to Parliament all the time. Because I fly
Sean was.
So I have to go through the
I think so.
Parliament.
He just looked.
Houston Hill?
Security.
Okay. Houston Hill Committee?
I was told
Yes,
about
it's actually Houston Hill Committee, exactly. They've streamlined it now, so it's just specifically drone. Because you used to say how many were going to be there. So now they've actually made it the right for drones. And I've done it all the time. The sergeant gets back to me. Because I did So it's very easy to get it. But no, I don't think technically you wouldn't have any problem, I don't think. If it's going through you, it's just getting approval from the parliamentary. And if they know it's for this, they'd have no problem with it. As I say, you can actually do it through the Dejero. You know, just have a nice, beautiful, nice flight. It'd be nice for the networks to cut to.
Well, that's it. It's the networks that would, but it's the networks that would pick up the cost and like. I mean, we have like one camera outside. That's well, that's all the resources going towards it. Like, so I mean, convincing them that you're going to spend more money on the drone. I think you're going to get
I do so much stuff.
Of course.
Drone stuff downtown. I do all the stuff for the LA. So I fly down all the time. Yeah, I'd be happy to chat.
Have you ever done something inside? No, but inside the SGM building.
The SGM building.
The Sir John A. Macdonald.
Which one's that?
The old bank of.
We did interviews with the Prime Minister a couple years ago.
Probably, yeah.
The one right across the street
from West Block,
Yeah. I haven't flown in there. I've shot in there. You could definitely shoot in there. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because I do with corporate videos doing factories or like Linen Supply Ottawa. That's a good example of their video. And I was just flying all around the shop floor. And it's very safe. Like, there's nothing. It's all good. So. Anything like that, if you ever, even just questions, or I'm happy to chat about stuff, because I mean, now I've been flown Niagara Falls like 4 or 5 times. I've flew from Parks Canada and all that. Prince George logging trucks, casino is Vancouver. It's really amazing how much work it brings in. So, and then last summer,
it's a whole different perspective.
It is.
I mean,
It's a
beautiful image,
Well, that's it. And that's the thing. I mean, you go up here a couple hundred feet, you can cut this beautiful shot of the whole building. It's just without that element. That's not bad.
No,
My rate for the drone is $750 for the day and $500 for the day, 4 hours. So something like this would cost $500. This is what it would cost. $500 for me to show up for 4 hours on here.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, You just have to have, somebody has to just apply the Vigero. I control the CTV, that's no problem.
Yeah.
And you literally have my controller, it's plugged into the Vigero.
Yeah, because basically what the drone is transmitting to your
The
controller.
controller just feeds the Vigero. And then they just take it live. So it's just another feed. So that, you know, I mean, CTV would love it. Because you can go, we can do a nice slow move, you know, 200 feet coming towards you. So you just spend the whole time flying. Battery goes down, bring it down, send it back up.
How long is the flight?
Yeah, each battery lasts about 30 minutes.
Okay.
I have 8 batteries. And I also have a power supply, so I can actually be charging while I'm flying. So going through, so you could pretty much theoretically just stay in the air the whole time. So basically, I just need to be, I can just right here, each drone and just get constant shots. I just be going through just these different things, and then they can take it whenever they want and have all those things. So and I can do, you can do that anywhere. Like if anything comes up, like a major ceremony. See, the only other thing, if it's, let's say there's a ceremony downtown and they wanted it, you have to apply for a special flight operation certificate if it's an advertised event. So if it was like Christmas light ceremony, I'd have to actually apply to Transport Canada and the RCMP and to the parliamentary services.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal, it's just extra paperwork. But the Parliament one's really easy now. They just know.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. And it used to be it would take like a week or 10 days to get approval. Now it's between 24 hours. So they're actually getting back to me the next day. As long as everything's, there's no red flags, right?
Yeah.
So, like the mint, it was the next day when I got approved.
Well, I said I find these things, once they get started, it's more like both sides need to agree about how the friggin' paperwork will be filled out in order for everybody to be satisfied.
Oh, yeah. You mean for the drone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, any of these, sometimes there's something new and there's a form
yes, I
filled
know.
out.
People are...
You fill it out, and then like it's just not filled out the way they would like it to be filled out, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you for sure, like if you asked me to fly drone today, I would have applied to parliamentary services a week ago.
Yeah.
As you know. And then they control the airspace. Then they would consider where you take off from.
But not here.
No.
This would be through our CMP.
You're right, actually. No, you're true.
This would
I have
be.
to check my thing transfer my. Oh yeah, actually, when I get home, I'm gonna check to see who does.
This would be.
You're right. No, this has got a very blanket. Yeah.
Yeah, this is completely out of the parliamentary circle.
See right now. Yeah, you're right. Because I know I used to fly out of Rocket, and this had a little red circle on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna see who it is actually. I'm curious. But it's very doable. You know, it's doable for like a few hundred bucks. It's not even a big expense. Because to me, it's only basically it's 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm just curious who is the controller of this place. There's Rideau Hall. There's Rideau Hall. So there's the flight restrictions. So tap on it and see. Rideau Hall, Ontario, Class F restricted airspace, advanced ARP, so you have to be advanced, that's no problem. To see who to apply to. Restricted, business altitude service to 3,000 times agency RCMP. So it is the RCMP. Yeah, it's not parliamentary service. Yeah. So I mean that's all doable. Especially if it's you know, for a Joe Blow trucker organization, yeah, you probably would.
No,
it's going
exactly.
to the parliamentary press gallery.
Yeah.
I don't feel any an issue, I'm sure. So, anyways, but I'm always happy to chat about drones.
Cool.
Yeah, that was when I did it for Rogers. That was the first one I've ever done with the Vigero, and I was wondering if it would work, and it worked perfectly, just like another camera.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, if it's transmitting already to your controller.
Yeah.
I mean, by then it's in and out.
Yes, that's right. And even with you can even do it without the Vigero, because there's wireless. Anyway, I'm not sure how that works. Because you could be broadcasting to YouTube live, Facebook live.
Yeah.
You know, from the
yeah, exactly.
But you know, it's the simplest way going through the Vigero. Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. Come on, Patrick, go get them.
Yeah, what are they doing? And they're having tea and biscuits?
They're standing just inside.
You think you see movement?
At least it won't be out for too long, so that's good.
I'd go for a biscuit.
Yeah.
They have a cabinet meeting after that. At 3.
3 p.m.
Gotta try to get up there.
You're gonna go there?
I'm gonna try.
Really?
How many months have you? No, I just
Needs to hire more guys then.
yeah. Well, I had someone up here from
Well, Carlos.
Toronto, right? Carlos, yeah. Except on the wrong days.
Exactly.
The day after everything happened, and
And the days in between.
yeah.
Yeah.
The wrong-
So how cold can the equipment handle?
Mine, not very much. I've had trouble, all kinds of trouble with them. Batteries go, then the screen goes.
Yeah.
I guess the Sonys are better. They have OLEDs. These aren't OLEDs. They're LCDs. And I have trouble fogging up. That's why I kept it in the jacket the whole time.
Well, yeah.
I've had trouble going into places, and once it gets real cold, like all the metal, all the glass, it's gonna take half an hour for it.
And especially now inside,
yeah.
out. And
I didn't see anybody else had any trouble, but I kept mine in my jacket the whole time. 'Cause
I
knew
know
it
with my
would-
glasses, when I
Yeah.
go outside, inside, I can't see it. When I open the oven, I can't see it.
Yeah, but this takes a lot. This takes a lot longer to warm up because
exactly.
there's so much glass. There's so much metal. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They'll go in the they'll almost start getting frosty. They're not meant. They say in the manual they're not meant for below 0.
They're not made for. Oh,
No, it says right in the manual. I think it's 2 degrees or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And the weather in Canada, they're all weather sealed, right, inside, but it doesn't last 6 months in Canada because of the heat and the cold. Just little bits of rubber.
Oh,
You can almost see them in there. Every time I send in my shutter, he says, all your seals are all worn out. They're the ones that told me that all the weather sealing in Canada, it doesn't last inside the buttons. It's just literally, you can see it on this lens actually, it's all starting to come off. It's just like a little bit of rubber.
Yeah.
It's all cracked. It's a tiny little line of rubber. That's the same thing that's in the camera.
Okay.
And they just falls apart. Even when the camera's filming. The repair guy, and the rich guys that go up north, shoot polar bears and stuff, they go on those trips that have all the gear, the big lenses. Every time they go on a trip, they send all their stuff in and get all the weather sealing replaced.
Oh.
So that they can shoot outside and not have to worry about it getting wet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you do that just before you leave?
Yeah, they'll send it in. They'll send all their 600 2.8 in. They'll send all their lenses
But
in.
they need to send it back again when they arrive.
Yeah, well, I guess. I don't know, but it's to go on the trip, make sure it's all
Make
weather
sure-
sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the bird photographers and that.
And according to him, they're
terrible.
rich.
They have one
So,
shop
okay.
in Toronto.
Yeah,
It's
that's it.
everything has to go to Toronto. Anytime anything had to get done.
Yeah, depending on the house, man, ils vont pas faire, là, c'est... Ouais, soit à nice cam. Ouais. Non, moi non plus, je pense pas.
When I was with Global before in 88, 90, I was up in the Arctic and they were doing a drop. The military was doing like a Canadian sovereignty. So they did a military drop up on Ellesmere Island.
Yeah.
So they said it's all up there. Do you remember that? I don't know.
No,
Anyways,
no.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get up there. Well, I get out of the truck, and because we were in the bus, the warm bus,
Yeah.
kind of froze. So we went all the way up there to Ellesmere Island to get some shot. My camera would not work.
I went all the way up there too in
Yes.
March with Gary Lund. Not this year. Gary Lund when he's the natural resourceman. And my camera stopped working.
Yeah.
But I
It
had.
was like minus 40, whatever. It was ridiculous. How
I
cold.
just bought a point and shoot to do video because I went on a trip to Cuba right
Yeah.
a few days before that, and it did video, and I could keep it in my jacket, and it
Yeah.
worked. I shot the whole trip on a little Canon power shot.
Yeah.
Because these cameras wouldn't work at all.
Yeah.
It was minus 30, minus 40.
Well, last time we had beta
Yeah.
cam, so it was the mechanics that froze. These would be much better because there's no moving parts.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty good. They can
Yeah. But no, the old beta cams, oh my god.
Nothing would work. You couldn't even turn it on. It would just freeze. Like,
Yeah, that's
within-
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Just
that those
gets
ones how...
so cold.
Yeah.
Well, the screen's the first thing to go. The screen will go.
Yeah.
Just shooting winter, they've had that. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Just or in the truck. We stayed out for a few hours. The
Yeah.
screen would go. Batteries dropped, but I always keep extra batteries in my pocket.
Yeah.
That are
Nice and
kept warm.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't do a lot of shooting.
But the screen was just froze like it's not.
Yeah, no, it wasn't
it's not-
damaged.
yeah.
It would come back to life. Like you start seeing it getting slow. You might even do that now. If you start to scroll through your images or live view. I guess it's not that cold. Put it on the live view. It's fine.
Yeah. We used to have the Betacam jam scam. So there was one guy from Cedar Waste, and he was, you know, they send down these shitty weather days to go weather shows. So if you put the tape in on a cold day, it kept popping in, and eventually it would jam. So if you're, yeah, sorry, my camera jammed. I got to come back. The Betacam jam scam.
Oh, it jammed here once. I missed one of the people going in. It wouldn't focus. It just, the focus points just all turned red. And I couldn't get it, and I turned it on and off and reattached the lens. I've never done that before.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had a lens communication error before, which is error 1.
Yeah.
Lens communication
Yeah, okay.
error, and then you just got to put your lens back on.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was the first time I saw that happen. Was
What do you shoot? Like when you're shooting generally, is it on TV or A? Or, like, what do you like? You
here, the light's not changing, so manual.
Okay, okay.
That's the nice thing about these things, because like when they're walking up, and then they went by the pillar, it gets darker there.
Yeah.
You see it in your viewfinder. So you just hit the little shutter, you just open up a little
Okay, just okay, yeah,
little bit. Yeah, you can tell right when it happens. You can
Yeah,
tell, oh, that's something a little darker.
Yeah.
That.
And you can change it while you're still holding the shutter.
Well, I got my thumb on the focus.
Okay.
Thumb's focus.
Bon matin tout le monde. Good morning everyone. Premièrement, je tiens à féliciter mes collègues pour leur position au cabinet et puis nous avons hâte à répondre à vos questions. I first of all simply want to take a moment to congratulate all of my colleagues. We're excited to move forward for working for Canadians and looking forward to your questions. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Minister. So one question, no follow-up. We're going to do about 5 to 6 minutes per group. If you could state your name and outlet, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Ministers. Ashley Burke, CBC News. This is a question for all of you. There are a growing number of members of your caucus who no longer have confidence in the Prime Minister. By accepting these positions, you are confirming your support for him. To each of you, why do you think he deserves it?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Darren Fisher, Member of Parliament for Dartmouth-Cole Harbour and the Minister for Veterans Affairs. I would say I'm so proud to serve with all of my colleagues in the House of Commons on all parties. But what I would say is I would ask that at this time, this very critical juncture, that we all push in the same direction. We have issues left, issues right, and issues in front of us. It's important that we all ran to serve Canadians. And you will never have to ask me twice to serve Canadians. And it's time that we all get on the same track and work hard to solve the issues that are facing us in the near future.
And I'm simply going to say we're all here today because we absolutely support the Prime Minister, and I think we can't answer that question on behalf of folks that have already made comments. We are here today. We are united front, and again, we are truly looking forward to working for Canadians. And again, looking forward to working with my caucus colleagues and also all parties, because Canada is the best country in the world, and we have to ensure that we put our best foot forward in moving forward and wanting to work collaboratively with the U.S. administration that's coming in very, very soon. And again, we're all excited to do the work that's ahead. Encore une fois, je tiens à dire que nous sommes ici aujourd'hui comme membres du cabinet. Nous appuyons absolument le Premier ministre et puis nous avons hâte à continuer à travailler pour les Canadiens et Canadiennes. Lors des prochains mois, c'est sûr qu'il y a des relations très importantes avec les États-Unis et on veut s'assurer qu'on va avoir une voix forte pour le Canada, puis un passage très clair pour s'assurer qu'on va travailler pour le meilleur intérêt des Canadiens et Canadiennes.
For me, you know, I've been thinking a lot this week about the events of the week and have chatted with the Prime Minister a number of times. And I believe this is a moment where we need to stand united. We need to stand united in the face of a growing incoming American presidency, growing threat to our domestic economy, which is why I'm so pleased to be taking on the role of Minister of Transport and Internal Trade. We need to work together for the domestic economy and for our trade relationship with the United States. And if we don't all band in the same direction, the results are not going to be as strong as they otherwise would. And so I'm here today. I'm taking on an additional portfolio in internal trade because I believe that that is the way we will maintain and grow our domestic economy and our relationship with the United States. This is a time for unity. This is a time for us to stand together. And I look forward to the work I will be doing with the provinces and territories on provincial trade and commerce, because we need a Team Canada approach, not only vis-a-vis the United States, but in our own country. We need to grow our domestic economy, and we need to work together to do that.
Hi, I'm Terry Duguid, the Member of Parliament for Winnipeg South, the new Minister of Sport, the new Minister of Prairies Economic Development Canada, and that is a mouthful. But I would just echo my colleagues, my amazing colleagues' message of unity. Important that we keep Canadians' concerns about affordability, about growing our economy front and center, and I'll be particularly focused on Prairie Canada, Western Canada, so important to the prosperity of our nation. 25% of the Canadian economy, and that will be my focus, working with some amazing colleagues.
Bonjour, Juliane Lapointe de Radio-Canada. Comment vous allez convaincre les militants libéraux sceptiques que ce gouvernement-là peut encore accomplir quelque chose alors qu'il pourrait tomber dès janvier?
Peut-être que je vais commencer. C'est sûr que nous avons été dans un gouvernement minoritaire, ça fait plus de 3 ans maintenant, puis je pense que nous avons aussi travaillé quand même en collaboration avec des partis si qu'on veut. Mais à ce point-ci, c'est sûr et certain que notre focus continue va être les Canadiens et les Canadiennes. Moi, je le sais quand je suis chez nous, à Moncton, dans ma belle région, les gens veulent savoir qu'est-ce que leur gouvernement font pour eux. Et puis c'est effectivement qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire. On doit continuer à travailler pour s'assurer qu'on est là pour appuyer les Canadiens et les Canadiennes d'un bout à l'autre du pays. Ça fait que moi et mes collègues, le focus va absolument être de travailler ensemble pour s'assurer qu'on va toujours avoir le mieux-être du Canada. C'est ça qui est notre priorité absolue, puis on va continuer à le faire.
Et, peut-être je pourrais ajouter que nous avons vu le succès pendant le dernier Parlement avec les projets très importants pour notre pays, comme PharmaCare, comme l'autre mesure pour le logement abordable pour les enfants, pour les familles et pour les aînés. Et nous avons vu ce succès-là et nous allons continuer de travailler pour les Canadiens canadiennes. Ça, c'est notre responsabilité. Ça, c'est notre objectif.
This will be the last question for this group. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Catherine with the Ottawa Citizen. My question is for Minister Petitpas-Taylor. I'm wondering if you can share, what are your priorities in the role given the potentially limited amount of time that you have? And, do you plan to continue to build on the work that's been done by the previous minister, including with the Refocusing Spending Initiative? Thank you.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the amazing Minister Anand for the work that she's done as the President of the Treasury Board. And I certainly, for the next few weeks ahead, it's really going to be getting briefed up on the file as well. But again, the department has been left in very good hands with Minister Anand, and I'm going to continue to do the work that has been planned out. Again, there's certainly a lot of priorities for our government, and we are going to be hard at work. Starting this afternoon, we have our first cabinet meeting at 3 o'clock, I believe. So it's time to roll up our sleeves again, and I think we're all very excited to take on these new responsibilities. We have some that are maintaining with their traditional responsibilities, and many of us are adding on or being here for the first time. So again, we're just really excited and rolling up our sleeves and just really wanted to get to work for Canadians.
The incoming president of the Treasury Board has been a member of the Treasury Board with us and has therefore been at the table for those key policy discussions, not only on refocused government spending, but on all the measures that have been passed by Cabinet and must be reviewed by Treasury Board in order to ensure accountability and fiscal prudence before they leave the Government of Canada. So Minister Petitpas-Taylor, the new president of the Treasury Board, is very, very well placed to take on this responsibility, and I look forward to supporting her and working with her as she makes this important transition.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
doing much. No. See, these are. I should have put these. They're hard to get. You can't walk. Put them on top of your car. I would do that. But these ones in there, I tried to go for. These are like a little bit of painful. They're really thin. These are just really good.
I'm asking everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's important. Yeah. You can probably fix it somehow. Patch it. Is like a white patch? White patches? Yeah. They patch an inner tube with it. And it's flexible. See how that? Yeah. No, that's what I would do. White patch. Be waterproof. No. Nobody else did either. I was being silly keeping them warm, but I've had trouble in the past. I think it takes longer. A few more hours out here. It just gets colder and colder with all the metal, all the glass. It gets mold in there and stuff. Moisture don't like it. I know the weather season is whenever I said to get a shutter or something, the Canada, all your weather season, all your gaskets, the weather season is all worn out, all crap. So yeah, it lasts about 6 months in Canada. So it's just because of rubber. Well, it's not the lid, it's the buttons. It's in the little leather stools because they're inside here too. They're in the buttons. Yeah. Wear out. Rubber, right? So it's going to be okay. I've been through it. These are the worst ever. What's so many earbuds that wrap around your neck with the Bluetooth? They get so good. They get like that. Like if I try to put them on now, I break it. It's solid. But it's not the fault. I step outside, I'm going to the grocery store, listen to them. You tell right away that it's not very good. Does it wrap around your neck? Yes. I had a pair of Apple ones too, and those were little dogs because they're recycled plastic. They're so good. And I had 2 pairs. It's like the first pair I ever tried. First one. There's actually some beach flex on them. Just go over yeah. I like the ones you can see. Yeah, with the beat flex you can stay there after. Like, just hang them around your neck. I thought I was going to have to get a new phone because I wasn't connected to the charger station. I could charge a bunch of cables. And I simply doubt that it was big and there was nothing there. It just said online, well, the board's probably or something. Then I was reading online, someone said, no, you got to take a sewing pin. It's big in there. And you'll get the stuff out. And I did. And all this stuff started coming out. All this lid. I couldn't get it. I did it with the police. No, I really had to scream. It was really packed in there. It had been packed in there. I don't know, but I was ready to get a new phone because I couldn't charge it anymore. You need to balance it. And I thought the board was broke. So I got online and said, well, you probably dropped it or something. And the cable attached broke the board in there. I read online. And sure enough, I got in there after scraping for a little bit. All this stuff starts coming out. It was. Tons of lids. Okay. I never really, yeah, I used to do button here, do video and all that. So you can't figure it out. It's so complicated. You gotta go to C4, set your settings, this, and then when you hit this, that, and that. Whereas this, older camera, you got your still camera, it's a video camera. Yeah, you've got a completely different settings. You got different shutter speed, different ISO, you switch back and forth. All the buttons. You gotta get another one. Dave just ordered one. He's picking it up. Gotta get another one. I've only got one. That's so much better. Yeah.
And then he's joined the East Station. Joined their club. Bad.
I found some blogs of people doing film and stuff. Reading about it. A lot of them are buying the older cameras that are cheap now, like the old 5D Mark II from 2008. You can get it for $400. It's still a pro camera. And they're doing it for street photography, put a 50mm lens on it, that kind of thing. And the quality, they haven't improved that image quality. Other things have improved, but you know, it's not, it's only 2 frames a second. It's better than buying like a Rebel or something across the full frame, you know, 5D Mark II. And they're so cheap now. They're how many generations old? 4 or 5 generations old. That's true. I've got 2 1Ds in the basement that were on this thing. No, it was their tape. Oh yeah? Yeah, just like film, the old digital the RCA Lyra that I had, which is a little thumbstick thing, you know, with pre-iPod even, before Apple came. And people were putting MP3s on them and using them like... Like they were 20, 30 years ago, square from Hasselblad. Doing albums, just doing it like it was 20 years ago. Like 1995. And they're getting paid tons of money. Oh, they only do film. They've been featured on TV. Huge little profile that they use that they're shooting film. Got really high in money. $10,000. machine. Yeah. It's in the color one at the time. VR, TVs, and yeah. They were still using that when I started, but I wasn't as a buyer. They make a print and then put it in there and scan it. It was a very early fax machine. Transmit the 3 colors. Yeah, I said, yeah, if the power of the line drop in, start again.
Hands up.
You're plugging this down more, right? Yeah.
Bonjour tout le monde. J'aimerais commencer en disant que nous avons vu ce matin des tirs sur une école primaire à Toronto. Plus tôt cette semaine, il y avait un incendie criminel à une synagogue à Montréal. Certes, nous devons attaquer au front l'augmentation des crimes haineux. Depuis 2019, les crimes haineux signalés par la police ont plus que doublé. Les crimes de haine ciblant la communauté musulmane ont augmenté de manière significative et les crimes contre la communauté juive ont presque triplé au cours de la même période. En 2022-2023, le nombre de crimes contre les Canadiens de confession juive ont augmenté de 71 %, la plus forte hausse jamais encaissée. Dans ma propre circonscription, chez nous, nous avons eu de multiples incidents, y compris des coups de feu tirés sur des écoles primaires juifs, non pas une fois, non pas 2 fois, mais bien 3 fois. Et comme je disais, cette semaine encore, à Montréal, une synagogue a été touchée par un incendie criminel. Et avec les nouvelles de ce matin, j'ai pu parler à notre commissaire du M, le commissaire de la GRC, par rapport à ce qui est arrivé à Toronto. Ce que nous allons faire et ce que j'aimerais annoncer aujourd'hui, c'est un forum sur l'antisémitisme. Nous allons convoquer nos alliés, nous allons convoquer nos partenaires au niveau des provinces et territoires, mais aussi au niveau des municipalités, ainsi que les autorités de la police, afin de voir comment nous pouvons travailler tous ensemble, afin de combattre les crimes de haineux. I'll just briefly make an opening statement regarding, in particular, the gunshots fired very early this morning in Toronto on an elementary school, an elementary school located on Shepherd Avenue. This was a Jewish school. Earlier this week, just 48 hours ago, a firebomb was launched at a synagogue in Montreal. I think everybody is aware that crime, hate-motivated crime in particular, is on the rise. Since 2019, police reported that hate crimes have more than doubled. A significant increase in hate crimes committed against the Muslim community, and strikingly, anti-Semitic hate crimes have almost tripled in that same time period. Although the Jewish community represents only 1% of the Canadian population, they are the number one community that is targeted by hate crimes, a 71% increase in the number of hate crimes against the Jewish community. As a result, and in order to ensure that we stem this violence, I will be convening, along with the Minister of Justice, our counterparts provincially and territorially, also municipally, as well as police authorities. As you all know, the police of jurisdiction are the ones that are responsible for investigating, but I took the opportunity here today to speak to Commissioner Duhem of the RCMP, who is in touch with the Toronto Police, and we are going to be working all together in order to address this heinous and intolerable rise in hate crimes in Canada. We're now happy to take your questions.
Good morning. Antoine Trepanier from the National Post. My question is for Mr. Erskine Smith, pardon me. You said that you weren't seeking re-election in the upcoming election, and you seem to have put some thoughts before accepting this new job. Why did you accept the job, and are you running in the next election?
I had decided about a year ago, I guess, that I wasn't going to run. After conversations with my family, I got 2 young kids. It's actually my soon-to-be 5-year-old's birthday party later today, and this morning at 5 a.m. I was stuffing a creeper pinata with candy. So it's been a day. You know, it was a tough leadership race last year, and that balance wasn't right. That balance between, you know, sacrifice, but also that ability to make a difference. And is the sacrifice justified by virtue of the difference that you're able to make? And that balance wasn't there. And an opportunity came along where you can make an even bigger difference. Sean's a good friend, and he's done important work on housing. Housing, to me, is, outside of Canada-U.S. relations, the most important file for, you know, I see millions of Canadians who are rightly angry about housing, where they see their parents are better off than they are, even though they're working just as hard and have a job that's just as good. I see, you know, you look around, every one of our communities is affected by homelessness and encampments, and that's a consequence of housing. You look at productivity, and people want to talk about productivity in this country, and we should, and people are leaving my city, my province, and our country because they can't afford to live here. And so you know, look, I understand there's going to be a short runway. I'm not blind to that, but if I can make a small difference, if I can make a big difference, I want to make the biggest difference that I can. That's why I joined politics in the first place, left law for politics. And so, you know, it wasn't an easy decision by any means. And yeah, I consulted colleagues. I consulted my wife more than anything. And I plan to run the next election in order to protect the progress and really in the short term make the biggest difference that I can.
Good afternoon, Jillian Piper with Global News. This question is for all ministers. What assurances has the Prime Minister given you that he will be staying on as leader until the next election? Has he shared a plan?
What's clear is there's a lot of work to do to help Canadians and to ensure that Canada is prepared as a new administration takes shape in the U.S. As someone who's continued to serve as a minister, that is the singular focus that we have. Each one of us have individual portfolios. In my case, the work around the North is particularly important. Responsibilities to ensure the Arctic sovereignty is intact, I think, is essential for Canada's long-term well-being, as well as North America's overall defense system. So I look forward to working with Mr. Blair and Jolie on that work. As a government, the Prime Minister has been very clear that our task is to ensure that we deliver for Canadians, whether it's the fall economic statement or to ensure the work on reconciliation, the work on housing, the work on public safety is something that we are tasked to do, and that's what we will be focusing on going forward.
En français, s'il vous plaît, si on peut entendre quelqu'un.
Absolument. Comme nouvelle ministre des langues officielles, ça me fait plaisir toujours de répondre dans les 2 langues officielles. Alors, je ne sais pas si vous voulez poser la question en français pour qu'on puisse avoir une...
I actually don't think that the question was answered. What assurances has the Prime Minister given you that he will stay on until the next election? That was the question. English and French, please.
Mais je pense que la politique, c'est une affaire de choix et ces choix sont souvent très difficiles. Je pense que le Premier ministre était assez clair avec nous tous comme caucus qu'il avait un choix difficile à prendre et un choix qui se présente devant lui en ce moment. Aujourd'hui, moi aussi, j'ai fait un choix et comme mon collègue le disait, bien, le choix que j'ai décidé de prendre, c'est de servir mon pays. On m'a demandé de servir comme ministre aujourd'hui et la raison pour laquelle je suis rentrée en politique, c'était pour pouvoir aider les Canadiens. Puis j'ai cette possibilité-là. Je pense que c'est important de voir que, je ne sais pas, on regarde l'Allemagne, on regarde la France et bien d'autres pays. Il y a une instabilité politique à travers le monde en ce moment. Je pense que le président Trump rentre au mois de janvier. C'est important d'avoir une stabilité ici au Canada. C'est important de défendre les intérêts des Canadiens d'abord et avant tout. Alors, moi, je n'ai pas l'intention de perdre même une minute de mon temps avec la politique partisane. Et je ne pense pas aux élections, je pense aux Canadiens. As I was saying, politics is about choices. Very often, those are difficult choices. I think the Prime Minister was quite clear that he has a choice that he's reflecting on. I think each one of us, and certainly I'll speak for myself, I made a choice today, and the decision that I made is based on the intention that I always had, and that was to enter politics not worrying about the next election or the partisan nature of this job, but in order to serve Canadians. And I have an incredible opportunity to help protect Canadian safety, and I will do that with every ounce of my being. I also, like all of my colleagues in Cabinet, have an opportunity to serve Canadians at a time of great instability around the world. Political instability exists in many of our peer countries at the moment. I think it was on Monday we saw what was going on in Germany and a few weeks ago in France. The important thing is for Canadians to know that there is stability here in our country, particularly given that President-elect Trump will be sworn into office in a few short weeks in January.
This will be the last question. Dernière question pour ce groupe. Merci.
Lise Denis, Le Droit. Madame Bendayan, oui ou non, est-ce que le français est en déclin au Québec?
Le Québec a un rôle très important. C'est la province qui doit d'abord et avant tout être francophone afin de s'assurer que la dualité linguistique que nous avons ici au Canada est protégée et est maintenue. Moi, personnellement, mon père est francophone, ma mère est anglophone, alors moi, je vis cette dualité linguistique et je sais à quel point c'est important. Ça fait partie de la richesse du Canada.
Mais
et
oui,
donc,
est-ce qu'il est en déclin? Oui ou non?
je pense que mon rôle en tant que la ministre des langues officielles, c'est de s'assurer que nous maintenons le bilinguisme, c'est de s'assurer que la minorité anglophone au Québec soit protégée et que la minorité francophone hors Québec soit protégée afin que le bilinguisme soit protégé partout à travers le pays et que nous maintenons la dualité linguistique que nous avons et dont nous sommes si fiers.
Vous voulez pas répondre?
That was the last question for this group. Thank you very much, ministers.
2 minutes. Technical question.
Yeah.
If a battery loses electricity in the cold, when it warms up, does the electricity return?
Interesting. I wonder.
I don't know either. I thought you might know.
Yeah,
You're a tech guy.
I know. I wonder. I'll try it. I'll test it. It's with drones. Like that's where it comes in. Is with drones.
Yeah.
Because they don't like the cold.
No. How many of them you got now?
Hey?
How many you got?
8. Batteries or drones?
Drones.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have the Mavic 3 Pro Stini.
Yeah.
But it was TVO bought it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the Mavic 2 and the Mavic 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Mavic too.
Yeah, yeah. I fly them. I prefer the Mavic 2.
Do you?
Yeah. The controller with the Mavic 3, I found it really sensitive. I was having hard time.
Well, yeah, I bought the whole, like, not the phone
yeah.
thing. It's great.
Oh yeah. Smart controller.
Do you use the AI like to follow moving stuff?
Yeah. I haven't done that.
No, me neither.
No, I keep on because what I do, it doesn't work for what I do. Like for the type of flying I do, yeah, it doesn't really work. So, but yeah, it's a pretty cool feature though. What I love now with the new one is the waypoints. You can program the waypoints, but you can control the drone between the waypoints.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's really good. So you can set up a shot coming around here, very complicated, but then you can actually pan and tilt between those waypoints. It used to be it'd be locked to where you set it, but now you can actually set up your waypoints and then just pan whichever way you want.
I almost never tilt when I fly. I just.
Oh, I do.
You do?
When you go up, you need to tilt down.
It's up. Yeah, coming out.
It's cold.
It's cold. Just before beginning, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to make an opening statement and then turn it over to you for questions. I want to begin as the new Minister of Public Safety to recognize the terrible tragedies that have taken place in both Toronto and Montreal over the last 24 hours. There is no place in Canada for this kind of conduct. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Jewish community. This is a very, very serious matter for us and our government. I will be leaving this media availability to be briefed by senior officials on these two occurrences and more. So we wanted to express our solidarity with the Jewish community. Our hearts and thoughts, prayers are with them at this difficult moment. We'll have more to say about this in due course. So on that note, we turn it over to you for your questions.
Bonjour. La question de M. McGuinty est pour vous. Juste une clarification. Est-ce que c'est vous qui allez être en charge de la frontière à titre de ministre de la Sécurité publique? Et pour l'ensemble d'entre vous, sauf Mme Brière, parce que je sais que vous avez une extinction de voix, le NPD, le chef du NPD vient aujourd'hui de dire qu'à la première occasion, il va faire tomber le gouvernement. Donc, au moment de vous confier ce rôle-là, quelles instructions est-ce que M. Trudeau vous a données? Donc, vous vous préparez pour combien de mois? 1 mois, 2 mois, 3 mois?
Premièrement, la question de la frontière, je vais travailler évidemment très étroitement avec le ministre Leblanc, qui déjà est impliqué fortement dans la question. Donc, on va coopérer. Je vais faire partie du comité Canada-États-Unis. Donc, on va travailler ensemble pour la mise en œuvre, par exemple, du plan qui a été publié et distribué aux Canadiens cette semaine. Donc, ça va être une responsabilité partagée et j'ai beaucoup, évidemment, à apprendre de mes cadres, de mon sous-ministre, évidemment aussi du ministre Leblanc, qui est impliqué quand même depuis des mois. Donc, on continue ensemble, parce que c'est vraiment une équipe, une approche d'équipe Canada vis-à-vis les États-Unis. Et donc, nous allons être plusieurs ministres, y compris des ministres ici qui sont devant vous présentement, pour faire de notre mieux pour résoudre les défis vis-à-vis la nouvelle administration américaine.
And there is a question on the... Vous vous préparez pour combien de temps? Vous allez avoir le brefage, là, vous allez lire vos cahiers de brefage pendant le temps des fêtes. Vous allez être ministre combien de temps?
C'est un conseil des ministres fait pour gouverner. C'est un conseil des ministres muni évidemment de nouvelle énergie, mais de beaucoup d'expérience, des gens aguerris qui vont se battre pour les Canadiens aussi longtemps que ce Parlement durera. Les affaires parlementaires, c'est très sérieux. Nous allons évidemment continuer de gouverner et continuer d'offrir des solutions et pour ma part, des solutions économiques aux travailleurs canadiens, pour l'économie canadienne. Et évidemment, on entend faire ça aussi longtemps que possible.
And can you answer that in English on what the NDP non-confidence vote?
What you're seeing today is a cabinet full of new energy, obviously coupled with experience and competence with all of my colleagues. For my part, the economy, jobs, workers, that's going to be my focus. And this cabinet and this government will continue offering solutions for Canadians as long as we go. Of course, other opposition parties are free to vote as they will, but we will be continuing to offer solutions for Canadians right up to our last day.
Hi, Ministers. Laura Osmond with The Logic. My question is for Minister McGuinty. I wanted to dig in a little bit deeper on your role in terms of U.S.-Canada relations. Chrystia Freeland and Minister LeBlanc work quite closely on that file. What do you see your role as being in terms of leading the government's efforts against the Trump tariff trade threats? And what will your responsibilities be given that LeBlanc is taking so much responsibility for the border?
I think our approach is one where we recognize that we need all hands on deck, where not only different portfolios, different ministers must cooperate, but for that matter, we have to cooperate with our premiers, our big city mayors, our Indigenous leaders, different business representatives, because this really is a Team Canada approach. I'm convinced that we're going to be able to resolve the issues between Canada and the incoming American administration. We have a history of cooperating. This is the largest undefended border in the world. We have always overcome challenges between us. Both sides of the border understand the importance of security in terms of the economy. Yesterday we had the border czar from the United States on Canadian television saying there were very, very many positive developments in the relationship as we find our way forward and manage this most important of relationships. So I'm encouraged. I'll be working with Minister LeBlanc and others to make sure that we bring a seamless approach to resolving these issues on behalf of Canadians. And we're getting right to work. I mean, right after this meeting, most of us are meeting with our deputy ministers and moving forward.
What was specifically is your responsibility?
My responsibility will be to work obviously with the RCMP, with the Canada Border Services Agency, with overseeing Correctional Services Canada, obviously the security CSIS, Intelligence Service. My responsibility will be to work with my partners in the United States and to actually begin delivering on much of the resources that have been provided to public safety just this last week in the economic statement, which will allow us to make improvements to meet the challenges that the White House seems to be raising with us. I am convinced that working together with my colleagues here and beyond, we're going to do this for Canadians. This is just too important not to get right together.
This will be the last question. Dernière question, s'il vous plaît.
Hi, Ministers. Raif Patel, the Toronto Star. The Prime Minister is not, standing behind you, supporting you publicly. The Prime Minister is not here today to answer questions and address Canadians. My question's for each of you. What do you make of that?
The Prime Minister is working hard to make sure that we lead this government and we deal with the pressing issues of today. The Prime Minister has all of our full support, and he obviously has shown lots of confidence in us, and that's why we're here today. We were just with him inside and had some great conversation as to the work that we have ahead of us. And we're really laser focused on doing that work and making sure we deliver for Canadians.
C'est sûr que c'est un moment qui est important et on est une belle équipe. On est là pour travailler ensemble pour les Canadiens, faire en sorte qu'on réponde à leurs besoins dans ces moments qui sont plus difficiles. Et on a de la nouvelle énergie autour de la table. Et soyez assurés qu'on va être là pour tout le monde, pour faire en sorte qu'on regarde en avant et qu'on fait les bonnes choses, les choses qui doivent être faites.
En français, les autres.
Sur le premier ministre, M. McKenna, il est où? On comprend pas.
And in English too.
Est-ce qu'il a pris une décision? Est-ce qu'il doit partir?
C'est beaucoup.
Commençons par il est où? Pourquoi il ne nous parle pas?
Si on était... nous avons évidemment confiance en le premier ministre et en le gouvernement. Nous ne serions pas ici si nous n'avions pas confiance en le gouvernement. Nous avons aussi une grande détermination à rencontrer les défis qui se présentent devant nous. Vous avez entendu mon collègue David parler de la frontière et de nos relations avec les Américains. Ça demeure évidemment une priorité de première ligne. Il y a l'économie et les emplois, les travailleurs aussi, ce à quoi je me suis attardé au cours des derniers mois et à quoi je m'attarderai davantage avec mon nouveau rôle.
Why is he hiding from Canadians on a week his government's falling apart?
He's left you alone in the cold. Where is he?
The Prime Minister has of course been working all week, working to fashion the government and to continue to work on our priorities. The Prime Minister is the hardest working person I know.
This was the last question.
The journalist was Good Morning a week ago on Monday morning. How can he do this?
The Prime Minister has been very focused on working with his cabinet, working with his government on Canadians' priorities.
That was the last question. You could go ahead.
Called on a leadership review in October. How are you saying you're united now?
Look, the Liberal Party is an extraordinary institution. I remember being here this summer and discussing the fact that you should never count the Liberal Party of Canada. Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas, joyeux Noël à tout le monde. Merci. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
That's a wrap. Thank you. All the best. Yeah. I wouldn't do it any other way.